Guys, we'll talk about what is called absolute reference and relative reference. This is very important, guys. We need to understand this properly now. I give you here example. There are product which is called Apple, which is called Dell, which is called Lenovo, which is called HP, which is called Asus, and which is called Acer. Sold out in Bangalore, sold out in Pune, sold out in Mumbai, sold out in Delhi, sold out in Hyderabad. How much units has been sold out? It's a random between 100 to 900 multiplied with these many units has been sold out. After doing this, what you'll do? Control C, paste special values. Why do we do that, guys?
To make it
Hide the
constant.
formula.
Right. So you know what, guys? I copy this data and I paste it. Now I don't have this value. I said equal sign, get the value from here. And I drag this to the right and to the down. I get the same value, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is called relative reference, where what is happening is when you say equal sign B2 and when you drag it to here, it becomes B3. It becomes C2. If you drag it here, it becomes D2. Are you getting this? Then E2, then F2. Can you see? Are you getting this, guys? You give a one cell reference, you drag it to the right, to the down, it's going by the cell reference, getting the values here. Yes or no? What will happen if you drag this down? It will say 0. Why it will say 0? Because the next cell reference, which is 0, B8 is nothing. BC8 is nothing. D8 is nothing. E8 is nothing. F8 is also nothing. Does it make sense?
Yes.
This is called
Yes.
relative reference. But if you copy this and paste it here, over this, you said equal sign, get the value from here, but you make this as constant. $B, $2. What is happening, guys, here? It
Same value we
becomes
copied.
constant. This is called absolute reference. What do you call this? Absolute
Absolute.
reference. Where you are making your cell and your row, column and row, both are fixed by putting $. Are you getting this, guys?
Yes.
Right. I give another example. In this case, you say equal sign, get the value from here, and you make the column is constant. What will happen now?
Row will be
What is
the
happen
same.
now? What is happening now, guys? The B where your column is constant is taking all the values for this. Now this is absolute reference by row
Row.
and column. Getting this? Now this is absolute reference by what?
Column.
The column.
By column. Does it make sense? It takes entire B value to across everywhere.
Yes.
If you select this and take the value here, in this case, you take the value from where? Here, but make the row is constant. What is happening? What is happening here, guys?
So well,
Absolute
basically
reference
nothing
Row.
changes.
by row.
This is row is constant. Now, did you understand, guys? Did you
Yes.
understand this?
Yes.
Yes.
Are you getting this now, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Can you revise this once again at the end for us?
Okay. I'm saying when you make row as fixed, that means row 2 is fixed now. Row 2 is fixed means column, it is going to take B2, C2, D2, E2, F2 to across wherever I'll drag it. Can you see this?
Yes.
It's just 2 is fixed. In this case, you make column is fixed as B. So wherever you drag is going to column B is fixed. You see this?
Yeah.
When column is fixed, it takes this value across everywhere. When row is fixed, it takes this value across everywhere. But when you say this row and column both are fixed, it's taking the same value across everywhere.
Yes.
And this is called relative reference. So tell me, guys, which one is good, relative or absolute? Guys, which one is good, relative or absolute?
Absolute, sir.
Absolutely.
Absolute?
Depends
Yes,
upon
sir.
the work.
Yes, both are.
Yes. We will learn certain things going further from session 2 onwards. You'll always feel like absolute is really good as compared to relative. But some extent say the relative is good as compared to absolute. But 80% is definitely absolute reference is good. Okay? We'll discuss
sir.
about that. Okay, guys?
Yes, sir.
Right. Okay. So what I'll show you guys here, we'll talk about relative reference. Imagine I put the name here, which is called Avik. And I put the name here called Sachin. What is happening here, guys? And here I put it as Rajesh. And I put it here as called Saurabh. If I say equal sign, get the value from here, it is showing Avik. When I drag this to the right, it takes Rajesh. When I drag this to the down, it takes Sachin and Saurabh is coming here. Why it is happening? It is taken the cell reference of column C, row 30 is here. When you drag this, it becomes D30. When you drag this, it becomes C31. When you drag this, it becomes D31. But what happens when you drag this to the right, it shows 0. Why? Because there is nothing for E30. E30 is blank here. It is called relative reference because when you drag to the right to the down, it looks for the cell reference. So this is an example called relative reference. Okay. So this is just an example of relative reference. I tell you guys, when I say equal sign, get the value from here. But when I select this, it's saying C is a column and row is 35. Over the C35, I press F4 to make it $C $35. What does it mean? You are actually fixing this cell value. Now, wherever you drag, it will always show Avik. Why? Because my row and column value is fixed by putting a dollar. This is called absolute reference. Does it make sense, guys? Guys? Does it make sense?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
But if you're taking this value here, you're saying, I want to take this value, but I want to make my C as constant. C means column is constant. So what is happening? If I drag this, it's showing C39 and C40. Why it's saying C39, C40? Because column is constant, not row. When I drag this to the right, when I drag this to down, it shows me Avik. Wherever I drag it, this everywhere it will show Avik Sachin, Avik Sachin, Avik Sachin. Why it is happened so? Because my column is fixed. My row is not fixed. This is also an example of absolute reference by column.
Sir, if we drag them down more, will it show 0?
No, it will everywhere it will show. Look at here. It's saying 0. Why? Because it is not by column, it is by row. Column is fixed, row is not fixed. So hence you're going to keep 0. Clear? Understood now? So guys, what will happen if you take this value and you say equal sign here, you take the value from here where you make 45 as a row number is fixed. Now what will happen if you drag this to the right and to the down? What is happening guys here? In this case, row is fixed. Wherever I'm going, it's showing all row values. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
But if I drag this to the right, it will show 0. Why? Because my column is not fixed. Are you getting this?
Yes.
So this is called absolute reference by
Row.
I will tell you what is the practical use of it. You don't have to worry now. We'll discuss about this part. But now if I ask you about absolute or relative reference, can you answer that?
Yes,
Right. Okay, we'll have a quick test just to understand how much you know. I will randomly take the person to ask this question. Okay? Right, guys?
Yes, sir.
Virat, let's say Pant. So, guys, if I set this value and drag this is an example of relative reference or absolute reference.
Relative.
Right.
Relative reference.
If I say this, it is absolute or relative reference?
Absolute.
Absolute.
Absolute reference.
If I say this, it is absolute or relative reference?
Absolute.
Reference by column.
If I say it is absolute or relative reference?
Absolute reference by row.
Very nice, guys. I hope you understood this now. Okay.